On a typical Monday morning, I'll wake up and I'll meet with the team that I oversee for one of my clients in India. Throughout the day on Monday, I'll spend time doing podcast interviews with experts from all over the world, from Australia to London, New York, LA, Chicago, Tennessee, and even Canada. In the old days, doing this would require tons of traveling. It'd be a lot of money. But now we have tools that can help us out. There's only one tool that I utilize to do all of this, and that's Zoom. And here's why. This episode is brought to you in part by TSE Certified Sales Training Program. It's a program designed to help sales rep and sales team to improve their skills. Teaches you how to find the right customers, what activities, what strategies work, how you go about asking the right questions to build strong value, and what you need to do to close more deals. If you want to test it out for yourself, go to thesalesevangelist.com/free course to get the first 2 modules absolutely free. Again, thesalesevangelist.com/free course. This episode is also brought to you in part by Audible. Knowing that you're a savvy salesperson, you're here, you want to learn, you want to grow. Check out Audible. They have thousands of titles that you can choose from. Take advantage of the 30-day free trial as well as a free book. Simply go to audibletrial.com/TSE. Again, audibletrial.com/TSE. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, we're going to talk about how I can be all over the world in a matter of minutes, and you can too, with a powerful video platform. A tool that doesn't make it difficult for me to communicate, that's not clunky. That's Zoom. For those of you who are not familiar with Zoom, it's a video conferencing platform. They have capabilities of doing webinars as well as just doing a call with one individual or having up to 100 people on a call. You can do video, you can do voice. It's very powerful in that sense. Now, comparatively, many of you probably have used tools, or maybe you continue to use tools like GoToMeeting. No offense against GoToMeeting. When I first started off in my sales roles, that was like GoToMeeting was the hegemonic software when it came towards connecting with people across the country. That's how we did all of our demonstrations when I was working. And you can hear it in some of my past episodes, like in the early episodes, we talked about GoToMeeting a lot because, again, that was like the Kleenex of the industry, right? You had tools like Skype, but that was mostly, we saw Skype as individuals connecting. Maybe you connect with a family member across the world or a friend across the country. It was just one of those personal things. Then Skype obviously came to the point where they got bought out, Microsoft, and they have Skype Business. I use Skype as well to do a lot of my podcast interview when I first started. It gave a pretty decent audio quality, but we had issues with Skype where the calls would drop, it would be clunky, or you have that weird, like a transformer sound. Like a robot is trying to jump into the conversation as well. You know what I mean? Now, for the podcast interview, you could not record with Skype. So I had to get a third-party app that was able to plug into it that allowed me to record the conversation. It wasn't too expensive. It's like $25-$30, but still yet nothing that was native to record. Now, I interviewed this guy on a podcast, and he talked about his experience using Zoom and how they do all of their recording with that. It also integrates with a lot of things. I was a little bit skeptical, so I said, I don't know, but I'll check it out. I did, and did some research. Turns out a lot of big industry folks were utilizing Zoom as well. The audio quality was great, and you didn't find yourself getting a lot of issues with the Skype noise that we called it, the transformer noise, as you did on platforms such as Skype. Other tools were out there like Google Hangout and things like that, but again, it was a little bit more, it's not as user-friendly. It's a little bit more clunky, and it made it difficult for when you're getting a customer to log in. You want something that's going to be super easy. They can click on a link and they can get ready and start watching or listening to you. So long story short, I started testing it out and just absolutely loved it. So I made a switch. I left Skype and went with Zoom. Playing with Zoom and working with it, there are several other reasons that made it so much more beneficial for a sales role. Let me give you some of those. First one is that it was free. You didn't have to pay for an expensive GoToMeeting account to get started. And with the free account, granted, it wasn't as robust as their premium account, but hey, I could get on, I could talk to somebody for 45 minutes, I can invite multiple people to the call, up to 100 individuals. Come on, that's a no-brainer. That's a great idea, great deal. So companies would take advantage of that. I also try to use tools like join.me. The issue with that, I just felt that, again, it was just not as easy to use, wasn't as user-friendly, just a tad bit clunky. Then they got rid of their free version and went to a paid plan. With Zoom, it gave me the opportunity to just ease right in. As I started using the free one, naturally, I wanted to get access to the other things that I didn't have access to. So I ponied up and it was $14 a month. So it wasn't a big deal. I was able to make that transition. And in comparison to the $29 or $30 a month with GoToMeeting, this was so much more, cost effective for a small business. It also had nice, high quality HD video recording. So I was able to record some amazing conversation, was able to reshare those with clients or to use them on social media or on my YouTube channel. I can record them locally on my computer or I can record them to my cloud account. You can also connect it to Dropbox. So then now I could record and these videos can get straight into my Dropbox account. It integrated with Slack, which was, again, another bonus, something that you can utilize when you're communicating internally with your team, as well as a multiple of other apps, such as Salesforce, Google Drive, your Gmail account, Box, and even Blackboard. So the integration didn't require you to get an engineer in your team. These were just simple things that you can go on Zapier or even just directly from their website to connect it to those other applications. But like any sales tool, as I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that it's easy for your customers to get access to it. So this is why I liked it as well. Whenever I met with a client or a prospect over the phone, and they said, yeah, we want to connect, or I'm meeting with somebody overseas and we want to set up a Zoom account or a conference call, I was able to quickly just go in to my Gmail account or go into Zoom, get a link, share it with my client, and then they could quickly get access to it. We could then share information again if I'm doing that via Slack or if I'm going to send them a Dropbox link or whatnot. I can have that integration that makes it easy for my buyer. The educational side is really awesome too. So let's say if I'm giving a demonstration to a buyer and I want to show them my proposal or something on the screen, I can utilize the tools so I can underline things, highlight things, and the buyer could see all of that and have that full interaction. Obviously, screen share is there, of course, and I can have screen share with my video as well. One of the other neat things about Zoom is that I can connect my cell phone. So you can do that over Wi-Fi or you can just plug your phone in and you can do screen share of your phone. So if you're showing a client maybe your application or you're showing them something on LinkedIn or you're showing them something and you want to use your phone, you don't have to put the phone up to the camera. Just go ahead and plug that in or connect it via the Bluetooth connection. And it's really neat. If you have a tablet with a stylus, you can also write on that tablet and the stylus and use that as a way of educating the buyer. Now, we always stress the importance of value. You have to build strong value. And people will buy after they recognize value and after they feel like they were educated and they were taught something that they didn't know before. What better way to teach and to pull your buyer in and to engage them than to utilize almost like a chalkboard in a sense while they're sitting in their office in China and you're here in Milwaukee. That's fascinating. That's powerful. Now I'm missing out on many other features that Zoom has, but the purpose for this conversation is to help you recognize that it is a powerhouse and it's very simple, but beat the pants off of the big name providers out in the industry. If you're thinking about re-upping your GoToMeeting account, I would ask you to go ahead and check out Zoom first. I'm not getting any money from them for doing this. It's just the fact that I utilize it on a day-to-day basis and it works tremendously well. Now, Zoom has a couple other things that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. Zoom Phone or Zoom Rooms, where you can have multiple individuals show up on the screen and the whole conference line. And if you're an enterprise organization, it just makes sense for you to check some of those cool things that they're doing and some of the boundaries that they're pushing when it comes towards connecting people. Zoom also now has a conference called Zoomtopia, and it's later this year in October. Again, I'm getting no money from anything that Zoom has to offer. I'm just a user that loves it. But October 15th through 16th, you could check that out. They've grown that much. Even some folks who are, we have some individuals in our lives who are technology challenged, right? And those individuals now are utilizing Zoom as like a day-to-day word. Like instead of saying, I need to set up a Skype call, like they used to say, or go into a conference call, they say, I need to set up a Zoom meeting, or let's jump on Zoom. And that's pretty interesting. That's when you know someone has definitely taken over the market, from business to church to day-to-day life. I highly recommend this tool. To find more information, go back in the show note, check out Zoom, or you can go ahead, zoom.us, let's clarify that, zoom.us. And if you want to check it out, go ahead and try it. You can find all the details in our show notes. I share tools like this because I want to help you. One of the tools that I absolutely love is Audible. Audible will give you one free book and a 30-day free trial if you want to test it out. It's a gift to the TSE audience. Just go to audibletrial.com/TSE or go back to the show notes. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, just swipe up on the cover art and you can see all of these links. Also, check out TSE Certified Sales Training Program. It's our course. Would love to have you join to see if we can help you and your team improve your sales skills. Find more ideal customers. That's one of our goals. Help you to build stronger value. Check. Number 2. Number 3, we want to make sure you close more deals. But most importantly, why I do this is because I want to challenge you each and every single day to go out and do big things. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show today as much as I did. And if so, I ask that you leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to our show, share it with your friends, your colleagues. Leave us a rating and review on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to find podcasts like this. Our show today was produced by myself and the Sales Podcast Network. It was edited and mixed together by the one and only Jersh Nobel. Our content writer and show note creator is Mrs. Shannon Rasmussen. You can find audio credits to this and all of our episodes in the show notes. And as always, I am your host, your coach, your mentor, your guide down the sales journey, Mr. Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. Sales Podcast Network.